Deschive Edelet was created by television producer Armand Jamat and was first broadcast in France on the 19th of September 1965. It is still produced to this day, making it one of the longest running game shows in history. Since then, it has been ported over to 15 different countries with mixed success. However, none matched the success of the British version. Countdown first appeared on UK screens on the 2nd of November 1982 and has been a popular feature ever since. Countdown pitches one contestant against another, usually a challenger against a previous episode's winner. There are 10 letters rounds, 4 numbers rounds and a countdown conundrum, making 15 rounds in total. The letters rounds begins with one player choosing 9 hidden letters. The pair then have 30 seconds to make the longest word they can, using each letter only once. The longer of the 2 eligible words wins the points equal to the length of their word. In the event of a draw, they share the points. If a player manages to use all 9 letters, then they receive a whopping 18 points. In the numbers round, players must reach a target number using only the numbers provided, through addition, multiplication, subtraction or division. The closer the answer, the more points they receive. The final round is a countdown conundrum. 9 letters provided by the show that spell out a word or words that the contestants must decipher fastest for 10 points.
Today's crucial countdown conundrum. I beg your pardon?
Newspaper.
I can't believe it. Let's see whether you're right.
There's also a giant clock that does this. The format of Countdown is genius and probably one of the factors contributing to its longevity. Rather than having trivia questions that fly at you too fast to even answer, the slower pace and use of letters allows everyone to get involved. Even children that can spell can participate. Children won't be able to name the 2019 supernatural horror film starring Elizabeth Lale. However, after the 30-second timer, they'll probably have a word, even if it isn't a winner. In this way, Countdown is unrivaled in its ability to engage the widest audience possible. There isn't many game shows that can do this as well as Countdown. Due to the random nature of the letters, it can sometimes produce some interesting words, prompting hearty chuckles across the nation of Britain, and a Jim Halpert look at the camera from Rachel Riley. Anybody that says they don't love a rude word appearing on Countdown is lying. It is television gold. Unfortunately, this is about as exciting as Countdown is going to get. It sort of feels like a game you made to play at Christmas with your family. It's a bit slow, your gran loves it, and it would be better if everybody playing the game was drunk. However, everybody playing Countdown is sober. Comedian Jimmy Carr also appeared in 5 episodes as a guest in Dictionary Corner. It is impossible to talk about Countdown presenters without mentioning legendary presenter Richard Whiteley, who hosted the show from 1982 until 2005. He was friendly, likeable, and a real personality on the show. Countdown had a great model, so it would make sense they would hire a similar figure when they eventually found his successor. Countdown struggled initially to find a replacement. Des Lynam presented for a year, as did Des O'Connor. Jeff Stelling managed 2 before eventually leaving, but then, in 2012, Countdown finally found a long-term host. That host was Nick Hewer, previously an advisor on The Apprentice. He seems like a good bloke, but he is fairly unremarkable. There isn't a great deal of flair or warmth about him. It is all very dry. To put this into perspective, despite presenting the show for 10 years, I couldn't find a single compilation video of his best bits on YouTube. Thankfully, he's offset by Rachel Riley, an Oxford graduate who studied mathematics, and Susie Dent, a lexicographer who has authored 13 books related to words and language. The show is saved by the pair, who had a much-needed softness and personality. Susie, armed with a dictionary, decides which words are valid and offers the best words that could have been found in the mix. Rachel is adept in the numbers round and tends to solve them with ease, usually followed by contestants pretending they're not annoyed. The difficulty of Countdown is dependent on the skill of your opponents, with the challengers usually being long-time fans of the show and the winners staying on from previous episodes. The standard is fairly high. It seems like a tough game to win, and even tougher to win anything worthwhile. The reward aspect is where Countdown is let down. The losers get a goodie bag of pens, a dictionary, little things like that. What does a winning contestant who appears on one of the longest running and best known game shows of all time get? They get a teapot, a bloody teapot. I know it is a funny, quaint little prize, but it's just a little bit naff. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a rewards snob and I understand each show has different budgets. I wouldn't rate a show lower for having a bad reward, but I'm sure Channel 4 could do a bit better. Some might say I'm shallow, and the famous teapot is an iconic British symbol, a tradition that has survived for almost 40 years. It combines the loves of our favourite drink and slow afternoon family-friendly game shows, and for that, it is priceless. I would say, well, the show is actually French, and a quick Google search shows it's not quite priceless. On the 16th of April 2016, a Countdown teapot sold for £165 on eBay, and a 2019 Reddit thread, one user mentioned their friends sold theirs for somewhere between £200 and £300. Even being very generous and giving the teapot a value of £300, this pales in comparison to other game shows. There is a bigger prize for the series winner, however, but in my opinion it's a bit of a struggle to get there. In order to win a series, a contestant needs to beat 8 challenges in a row to become a champion. If they do that, then they need to beat a load of other champions to become the series winner. After you've beaten champions, you win a MacBook Pro, a decent prize, but that's not all. Get this, you also win a 20-volume hardback dictionary. Nice one. 20 giant hardback books. How are you even supposed to get those home? I looked at the Amazon reviews of the dictionary, and one person mentions they weigh 60 kilograms. That's 132 pounds of dictionary. What are you supposed to do with that? I've thought of a spin-off show for Countdown to make. The normal game is played off camera, but then the loser has to take the dictionaries home on public transport. Can you imagine getting them on the train? When thinking about rating Countdown, I found it a tricky one to place. The game is slow, yes, but if it was any quicker, the contestants wouldn't have enough time and the format just wouldn't work. Hewer is an uninspiring host, yes, but if a great host elevates a bad game show, does that make it a good game show, or is it just a good host? The rewards are pitiful compared to other shows, but I don't think a massive cash prize would bring the show up at all, and the rewards do fit the format. With all that being said, can I just shock you? I like Countdown. On Countdown there is an element of real-time deduction. It isn't just a competition of trivia question answers. Despite the format being 55 years old, it still offers an alternative to the high-pace question-answer game shows that are on our screens. And as much as I try to pick the show apart, the format just works. Countdown is a slow, steady relic that still holds its own in a world of fast-paced, high-drama game shows. It is a good game show. It simply couldn't have survived this long if it wasn't. If you do like the look of Countdown, I'll leave a link to how you can apply to be on the show down below. Who knows, maybe you will be the next owner of the famous teapot.